I'm Patrick Bay with iQlist.com. Today is May 6, 2022. In this video, I'm going to show a color layer test I created in OpenCAD and go over some of the results. Okay, so here we've got our experiment, but first, I have new microphones. So I got both my old microphone and my new one going, so we'll see what the difference might be. So here's the old one, and see how it's not quite so nice. And here's the new one, and hopefully it's going to sound better, and hopefully I've had a lot of audio problems when I'm trying to present things, so hopefully this might fix a few things. So anyway, let's get down to this. So my main problem is I have this filament, which is, what is it? Inland printer, what color are you? I'm blind. Okay, just generic yellow. And what I was trying to do, I noticed, I made these nice little dinosaur signs. I was making these dinosaur magnets, but when I switched out my yellow background, you can see it's nowhere near as beautiful, bright, vibrant yellow because we have that black behind there. Now, of course, another note to this, you may have to trust me on a few of this, we may have to try to get close-ups too, because sometimes cameras don't pick up everything in real life. But I think this is so divergent, so different that you can see this. I hope this comes up on camera, but this one is just not as vibrant and dark because there's the black behind it and the black's bleeding through. So I thought it was just a matter of layering. There's some more experiments I need to do, but this was my first experiment. So I'll go over all the details on this. I wrote some OpenCAD code, which I'll make available. That can make this this layer test. You can make as many as you want. I made 5 by 5, but you can make 20, 4, 16, however many layers you want. And the idea is it makes a circle, and then it will make one layer height, and then a 2 layer height, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, all the way to however many you specify. And then also, you can specify the layer height. I'm using 0.15. And also, you can put some text down here so you can actually remember what the test was all about. Because what I did in this first run, and I got some more tests to go, is I thought, okay, it's just a matter of layer height. I just need to give it thicker and thicker to overcome the black color. Or I had another idea where maybe, because we're going from black to yellow, that we did not purge enough of the black color out. And so we still had some black in there mixing with the yellow, which you do, as it comes out, it's going to be, as you put the new color in, black will come out, and then there'll be a little mix of black and yellow, and eventually yellow. So I thought, what happens if I just purge it a bunch and then go for it? So I did a 10x purge. In reality, when I did it, it's actually more than 10 times purge, so it's kind of an overkill test. But here's the two tests, and it turns out purging doesn't really seem to make a difference. So staring at these between me and my wife, and she's got better eyes than I do, she was saying in both cases, I said, which one is the one where it totally overcame? And in both cases, she said the 11th layer. Now, hopefully on the camera here, you can definitely see first layer, there's nothing. You can't, that's dark. It's obvious, not overcoming. Once you get to the 5th layer, you start to see something, 6th, 7th. The purge might arguably help with 1 layer, but according to my wife, her eyes, she's saying, nope, didn't help. Had to go 11 layers. And this one, you're starting to get pretty good, on 8, 9, 10. 8, 9, 10. In my eyes, I was thinking the 10th one was good on this one, and maybe the 9th, but her eyes are better. And also, we'll try to get close up as much as we can. It might not show up on the screen too well. But these are out here because it also could depend on what colors you're printing. If you're printing a blue out, it might overcome it quicker. But you can just go download these and run your own layer test. Now I have another idea. I do want to do some more tests with black on white, white on black, and see how that runs. And then also I think another idea that might work is what happens before you're going from a black to another color. What happens if you can clean it with another color? I'm thinking white. So what happens if you say, okay, I'm going to do black and do 1 layer of white, and then start my layer test? Is that going to help?
Like a primer layer.
Like a primer layer. Yeah, my wife mentioned like a primer layer. But to do that, I may have to rethink how I did this. No, I don't, sorry. Because the black layers on the bottom, they're all the same height, so that actually would work. So to do that, you could just stop at 1 layer down, change it to white, and then change it to the next color and go. So that may change some of the ways I'm doing things. Now to fix this magnet, I could have just done it all yellow the whole way through, and I think it would have been good. But if I want to do black and then yellow, You know, sounds like right now I probably need 11 layers, which might be, you know, why even bother going from one color to the next. Or it may be a good point when I put the magnet in here, it may be a good point once you swap out the magnet and put that in there, just go the next color if you need a background like this. So some more experiments to go, and now let's go over all the details of this. Okay, real quick, some URLs. So here's the actual model out there, so you can go download it. And hopefully I put a couple of files out there. Did I put the SCAD? Yes, I did. Okay, the SCAD's out there, so you can go grab it. But I'll show you the SCAD here. A couple other URLs. I did put the OpenSCAD out there on GitHub too, so you can download it. But I have two. There's a color layer test here that has numbers, and there's this one that's just circles. So you can go, that'll be in the show notes, but here they are. You can go download them. So with that, let's go over the details real quick. So as is with 25, it took 4 hours and 40 minutes to print. It took 4.3 cents of electricity, and it weighs 0.044 kilograms. And at $20 per kilogram comes out to 88 cents worth of material. So all in, 93 cents to run the test. So not too bad, but it turns out my test was a little bigger than I needed. But now let's go over to the OpenSCAD. So I also did a number one here, which I haven't used yet, because I thought it might be interesting if you need to go actually have the numbers so you can visualize it. And you can do that over here. And if you download this, they both work the same. So you can come down, you can come over here and change how many you need. So here I have, here I have the max layer. See 25 right here. So I could just change that to 5, and it will adjust itself. So you can change the numbers. But let me actually use the circle one, which is probably more relevant in most cases. But again, it's nice to have the numbers. But they both work the same. So I'm gonna have to go run this again with much fewer. I don't need 25. You can just drop it down to probably 16. Which will probably save me a lot of time and grief. I don't think we need, you know, from our test, you know, 10 or 11, you're there. And I think even less if we can, I got some more tests. I think if we might do this white layer before we do the other ones, that might actually cause a fix. We'll see. More tests to come. But other things you can adjust here is, you got the base height here. I don't know why you'd want to change that. Oh, getting a phone call. I don't know why you might change that, but you could make it lower. That's just the base height. 4 seemed good to me, but you could make it taller if you really wanted to. But you could change the radius. So I can come in here and say, you know what, I want something bigger for my visualization. And the whole thing will grow. So you can change it however you want, little few adjustments. And then let's see, layer height. I'm always doing 0.15 layer height. For me, that's my default in my Prusa i3. That, to me, that's the new default. So whenever you see me do my numbers, whenever you see me do anything, unless I specify otherwise, I'm always doing 0.15. But if you want to do 0.2, you can adjust this to 0.2, because that might be another test I want to do too, because maybe a thicker layer height might get the job done quicker. I doubt it, but you never know. It might be a test you want to do. Come in here and do 0.4 if you want. Boom. So you can change the layer height however you want. And then also just the notes here. So if I wanted to go 0.2 and say, okay, I'm going to do 0.2 layer test with white. Of course, now that doesn't fit quite there. So you might have to go down to wherever I put the font, you know. Probably should have a font size to here, but if I go down and find, there's my font right there. So if it doesn't fit, you could make it smaller. And if you get too small, it's probably not going to print very well, so you might want to think about reducing that, or you could eliminate it. If you don't really want to have that at all, you could just come up here and just make it blank, and you're good to go. So I like the idea of having this test. I might use it for some other reasons, but well, I'm still going to use it. I'm not quite done with all this testing, but I'll do some more testing with the white and the black, and we'll see what comes of it. But so far, 10 layers just seems like a lot. Seems like a lot. And I hope maybe I can do something simpler with this white and get it down to just a few layers. Or I think some colors will just work great from color to color. So like I have I got it right here in front of me. So I was doing this cross magnet that I did, and going from white to black, you don't need many layers at all. So that one, you could do a test. I probably should do a test just to show, you know, from going from white to black, you're probably covered pretty quick. Going from black to white, I don't know, might be an issue. And then also this in-between layer, we'll see. And different colors probably act differently. If I had a dark blue, maybe a dark blue wouldn't take 10, it might take 5. You know, you gotta run the test. And of course I can't do every exhaustive test, but this is out there for you to test for what you guys need. Okay, so with that, let's wrap this up. with a reminder that 3D printing is an engineering adventure that you're on. You can develop your skills and knowledge and take this in so many ways. You can make a business out of this, you can teach others, and you can make some amazing designs. So design it, engineer it. What did you think of the new mobile microphone? My ears are not what they used to be, but to me it sounded a lot better than what I normally have. I hope it's going to up my game a little bit on my videos. Speaking of which, if you like what we are doing here, be sure to subscribe to this channel and spread the word and share the video. Also, if you want to see 3D files ahead of time, you can follow me on Printables, where I usually put prints up before I do a video on it.